I feel like sometimes I overwhelm myself with a lot, and I do a lot to keep myself busy, to keep myself from overthinking or, Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Naya. For those of you who do not know me, I know that it's been a minute since I've recorded a video, and honestly, it's been a lot. I had to take a step back and really just analyze everything that was going on in my life and really just take some time for myself, which is mainly why I'm doing this video, to bring some awareness and some insight to some of the things I deal with, in my everyday life, and something you may deal with in your everyday life. I am someone who battles with depression and anxiety, and I know it's hard, and sometimes I have to take a step back from my mental state, and just really, take some time. And I wanted to do this video to bring awareness and insight, to help someone who may not know some things that could help them, or hearing someone else talk about their battle and what they've gone through with dealing with these mental health issues. I wanted to bring some awareness and help someone, because it's nothing wrong with giving someone some feedback and some help if they need it, and I just wanted to give some advice and stuff like that. So if you're interested to know, my battle with depression and anxiety, and some tips that can help you or a friend or a loved one, some things that I've learned, stick around and continue watching this video. I hope you actually, learn something, and it motivates you and it helps you get through whatever it is that you may be going through. So I wanted to give a backstory on how my depression and my anxiety came about. Just a quick, story. So I would say my depression started around when I was in high school, around my sophomore year, towards the end of my freshman year, going into my sophomore year. And it was like, I wouldn't know how to explain what I was feeling. I really couldn't explain what I was feeling, but sometimes I would just have I could feel this dark cloud over me, and I would just feel myself being sad and not necessarily knowing what's wrong. And I feel like, I was feeling like I wasn't good enough for anyone. I was feeling like something was wrong with me. Like, why doesn't nobody, I was just blaming myself for everything that was going on in my life at the time. I think I had a breakup, and then I was losing friends, and then I would get random chest pains, and I would have random panic attacks. Even if I was in class, I would have a panic attack, and sometimes my friends would have to help me, calm me down, to breathe and stuff, and I would have really bad chest pains, and I thought something was really seriously wrong with me. And I started going to counseling and talking to the counselor, and she helped me, and then I will say my senior year, once I went to prom and all that, and then I ended up graduating, right before I was going into college, I ended up losing my father. And I can say that took a really big toll on me, and it made my whole world just crashed down, because me and my dad never had that close relationship like I wanted, like that father-daughter relationship that I would see on TV, in the movies and TV shows and reading books and stuff. And it's like, that's the type of relationship that I wanted, and I never got that. So losing him, it broke my whole world. My whole world came crashing down, because we ended on a sour note. You know what I'm saying? So I looked to drinking. When I got to school, I was drinking a lot. I was partying. I was kicking it. I was having these panic attacks all the time. I would come home every weekend, just to be with my mom. And then I would have these moments where I would black out and not necessarily know what was wrong. And then times I would stay in my room, and I wouldn't want to go anywhere. I wouldn't want to talk to anybody. Wouldn't want to go do nothing. I would just want to sit in my room and just cry, And it was just a dark time for me, and I can honestly say it took a while and it took some time for me to get out of that dark space. I had to really motivate myself and find people that can really motivate me and help me get out of that funk, because I was honestly blaming myself for the way things had happened with my dad. And it was hard. Like, I was just in a really dark space, and I was dealing and talking to guys that wasn't good for me. I was talking to people that wasn't even right. I was just doing stuff, you know what I'm saying? Just getting involved, trying to just fit in, honestly. And that's not even me, So I can say it was hard. I had a really rough time, but I was having a really rough time on the inside, but on the outside, I was living my best life. What it may look like, I was kicking it with my friends. I was, partying. I was, the whole freshman experience. But on the inside, I was screaming and yelling for help, and I really just needed to get my life together. I had to pull myself out that funk. And to this day, I still have those moments where I just don't know necessarily like what's wrong with me, or I just feel like the world is crashing down on me. You know what I'm saying? So it was just honestly hard, but that's just a brief summary on where my depression and my anxiety came about, and how everything went from this into left. So my lowest point would have to be, this was this year, honestly. I had a blackout moment, and I honestly didn't know what was going on. I was just so angry and so frustrated and upset and mad at the entire world, and it caused me to really black out and lash out on my friends, my boyfriend, and it was so bad. Like, I was in school, and my friends drove me all the way back home just so I can be with my mom, because that's all that I really wanted. I just wanted to go home. I just wanted to be with my mom. And I haven't had a blackout moment like that in so long, and it hurt me because I hurt the ones that I love. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a really dark time for me, and I honestly thought that I was going to, lose my life. Like, that's where I was at. I honestly was just ready to just go, and I had to motivate and push myself to get out of that funk, So being home with my family and my mom being there supporting me, my mom, my stepdad, my brother and my stepbrother, them being there motivating me, and then my boyfriend and then my friends, it was like I needed that. And I'm glad that I had the support that I did have, because they helped me so much, like, motivating me, telling me that they want me here, they want me to be around, they know that I can get better and that I will get better. I just have to get myself out this funk. So without them, I wouldn't be here today, honestly. Like, if it wasn't for my family and my friends, I don't know where I would be. So I honestly thank you all for helping me, because that was honestly one of my lowest points in my life. And to think that it was just so recent, that was in February of 2020, So to just think like that was so recent, honestly, not so recent, but that was this year, and now we're in August and I'm in a better space. It's like, wow. I'm glad to see the growth and see that I feel healthier, and I feel mentally I'm in a better place, and I feel calm and I'm okay, So that would be my lowest point. Okay, so where am I at today? So I can say, like I said before, I am in a better place mentally. I still have my moments where I feel discouraged, or I feel like I'm overwhelming myself with too much. I see that I give myself so much, like put a lot on my plate to keep myself busy from overthinking, or having those moments where I don't know what's really going on, and I try to motivate myself to keep going and to keep myself busy from getting into those thoughts and crying and all that stuff. So I can say I'm in a better place now, and it feels good to say that, but I can't say I still have those moments. Like, I just had a moment about a few days ago, and I just cried for like 2 hours, and I just wanted to go to sleep. I took me a really long nap, but when I woke up, I felt refreshed. I felt better. And it's like, sometimes you gotta cry. You gotta let them emotions out. You just gotta have that moment to yourself, you know? And it's like, I still have my days where I feel like the world is falling on me, like the world is coming to an end, and I just don't know what's wrong. But it's okay. You're always gonna have hard days. Every day is not gonna be a good day. You're gonna have those bad days. So you just gotta know how to manage and push through those bad days, you know? And one thing I learned is during quarantine and being on lockdown is that do something to get you out of the house. Something to keep your mind off of all the craziness that's going on in the world. And I really had to find new things to do. So I can say I am in a better place mentally, and I thank quarantine, because the quarantine has helped me figure out things that I can do to make myself feel better and to keep myself from going into those dark places, even though I still have those moments. But it's helped me for the better, you know, and from my mental. Okay, so here are some tips that I've learned, you know, that helps me when it comes to battling, you know, my depression and my anxiety. So if these help you, please feel free to let me know, because I actually, you know, watched some videos myself and realized that some of the things that they were saying in their videos is exactly what helps me. So it was kind of like, wow, I'm glad to see that it's helping someone else other than me, you know? So here are some of the tips. So number one is journaling. I find myself having like about 50 million different notebooks, and all of them have different days of me just writing my feelings out. Like, I went out and got me a new journal, and I write in it every day. I write my emotions, what I'm feeling, whatever thoughts I got, I just put it all on the paper. I write it all out. I don't care. I keep writing until my hand hurts. Like, I just let those emotions out. And it's honestly, I can say that is one thing that really helps, you know. Let it all out on the paper. Just write it out. Or even if you don't want to write it out, type it in your notes or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, do that, because letting those emotions out instead of holding them in and bottling them up, it makes you feel better. So that's a good way to really like help, you know. Number two, shutting the world out completely. Meaning turning your phone off, staying off social media, just shutting yourself off from the world, or shutting the world off from you. Like, just not doing nothing, staying off your phone, you know what I'm saying? Like, focusing on what's really going on with you mentally and how your body is feeling and all that, instead of just scrolling on Twitter or scrolling on Instagram and all that stuff. Like, really just staying off social media, just turning your phone off for the day, and just focusing and trying to figure out what's going on with you mentally. And even during that time, that's a good time for you to journal. Write out how you're really feeling, you know, instead of just scrolling on your timeline, scrolling on social media and then on Snapchat and all that. Turn the world off and focus on what's going on up here so you can feel better, you know. Number three, meditating. I find that meditating actually helps me, but I will say this, meditating is not for everyone, and meditating is hard. Trying to, you know, stay focused and really like keep your mind from wandering and thinking about everything else, it's actually harder than you think. So I downloaded this app called Headspace, and it's a meditation app. It helps you if you know, struggle with sleeping, or you know, struggle with, you know, overthinking, anxiety, depression, all that. So it's really good. It has all different types of things that you can use the meditation for. The sessions can go from 3 minutes to 10 minutes. I was starting off at 3 minutes, and then I worked my way up to 10 minutes. Now I can say sitting there for 10 minutes trying to not wander off and think about something, it's a skill and it's hard, but it does help me a lot. So I recommend that you download the Headspace app if you're looking to meditate. So number 4, going for a walk, getting you some fresh air. If you feel like you just don't know what's wrong, or you just need to get out, go for a walk. Walk for about 15 to 30 minutes outside, you know. It's summertime right now. The weather is still nice. You can always go outside and get you some fresh air and clear your mind. Put your headphones, AirPods, your Beats, whatever on. Listen to your music and just get you some fresh air and just enjoy the weather. Enjoy nature. Enjoy that time outside, you know. I try to go outside at least for like 15 to 20 minutes and just get some fresh air and just listen to my music. I'll walk through my little neighborhood, you know. So I can always say that really helps me clear my head, and you know, I'm also getting a little bit of exercise in, you know. So you know, that's good for you too. All right, so number 5, find a hobby or something, you know, that you love to do. Finding you something new, you know what I'm saying. I can say during quarantine I've started painting. I've started doing different DIYs that I see on Pinterest, you know what I'm saying. So you know, I read books, I read poetry books, I like mystery novels, stuff like that. I'll go thrifting, walking. I like to do yoga. So just different hobbies that you love to do, you know what I'm saying, just to clear your head and to keep you from overthinking or whatever. Just something that you love to do to keep you busy. So I definitely would say finding you a nice hobby, something that you love and something that you can, you know, that you're growing to love, something that you will love or whatever, to keep you going, to keep you busy. So I think that's another good thing to keep you from overthinking and all that good stuff. Number 6, taking time to yourself. Self-care days. Sometimes you just need that time to yourself. And that's period. Sometimes you don't need to just be with your friends all the time. Sometimes if your friends ask you to go do something and you don't feel like it, it's okay to say no. Take that time that you need to, you know, be to yourself. You know, like I said, doing these different hobbies that you love, or some of these things that I'm listing for you to just make you feel better, you know, or just resting, taking time to rest, catch up on sleep, or catch up on your favorite show. You don't have to go out and be with people all the time, you know. Just have those moments to yourself, to making, you know, not to making, but making sure you're okay. Everybody needs a self-care day at least once or twice a week, you know, just to make sure your mental and your body feels okay. So I definitely recommend that you have self-care days, because your health, your mental is important, okay? And I will say it again, your health and your mental is important. So make sure you have those self-care days. Make sure you're making time for yourself, because if you're not making sure you're okay first before anybody else, or like, what are you doing? Make sure you're okay before you check on anyone else, okay? Period. Number 7, praying. I always take time to pray when I wake up in the morning, and praying before I go to bed, and even sometimes during the day, randomly. You know, just talking to God. But you know, if you're not a religious person, whatever, you don't have this one doesn't have to apply to you, but I believe in God. So I always take time to really just pray and just say, like, God, I'm putting my faith in you, I'm putting my trust in you, and I just know that you are always here and that you will always be here to make sure that I'm okay, and you're guiding me in the right direction in life. So take that time to pray when you wake up, pray before you go to bed, and you know, praying randomly throughout the day, you know, just making sure, you know. And I can say that definitely helps, because we are strong individuals, and God's strength and God's power is amazing. So I know He will always be there to help you get through whatever it is you may be going through. So always remember to have faith and to pray. And lastly, remember to breathe. Sometimes you just gotta take a breath. Wherever you're at, take a deep breath, let it in, and just let it out. You know, sometimes you just need that long, deep breath to just take everything in that you're feeling, everything that's going on right now, and then just letting it all out. Do that a couple times throughout the day, like how I said about praying. You could do that when you wake up in the morning, and do that before you go to bed, and even during the day. It don't matter. Just remember to breathe and know that everything is going to be okay. You know, don't get frustrated, don't get discouraged. It may be rough right now, but it will get better. So always remember to just breathe. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that I helped you, motivated you, gave you some good tips, and you learned something from this video. It was a very personal video. I don't necessarily like talking about like my mental health struggles and things that I go through and my challenges in life, but I really wanted to bring awareness to this because as a college student, we go through a lot in college, and it's hard, and you gotta have somebody there to help you, and it's okay to not be okay. And that's one thing I had to realize in school, and even just now, like a couple of days ago, I had to tell myself, it's okay to not be okay, so just remember to make time for yourself, making sure your health is okay, making sure you're good and you're straight at the end of the day, And if you are someone who struggles and battles with depression, anxiety, any mental health issues, any challenge, anything in that nature, just know I am here. If you need someone to talk to, if you need someone that you just want to vent, you just want to let it all out, or if you just want to cry, I will cry with you. It don't matter, because sometimes you just got to let it out. You just got to let it out, okay? So if you ever just need someone to just be there, to just listen, or you just need somebody there for emotional support or whatever, please feel free to reach out to me, because we always need that one person to be there for us, and sometimes people don't have that. Sometimes people feel like they have no one. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, you learned something, and more videos are to come. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.